Well, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Take Five. Should have cleared my throat before I pressed record. But anyway, we're in Exodus chapter 18, and Moses is going to learn a lesson today about delegation. All right. Verse 1. Now Jethro, the priest of Midian and his father-in-law of Moses, heard of everything God had done for Moses and for his people Israel, and how the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt. After Moses had sent away his wife Zipporah, his father-in-law Jethro received her and her two sons. One son was named Gershom, for Moses said, I have become a foreigner in a foreign land. And the other was named Eleazar, for he said, my father's God was my helper. He saved me from the sword of Pharaoh. Just looking at the names of Moses' kids, it seems like they were grateful for the fact that they got delivered out of Egypt. But Moses sent them all away. And sometimes it's good for husbands and wives to spend some time apart. Let the wife go back to the family and spend time with her. That's sort of what's going on in my situation right now. All right, so they spent some time there, but now they're coming back. Verse 5, Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, together with Moses' sons and wife, came to him in the wilderness where he was camped near the mountain of God. Jethro had sent word to him, I, your father-in-law Jethro, am coming to you with your wife and her two sons. So Moses went out to meet his father-in-law and bowed down and kissed him. So very respectful. That's what they did back then. And it would be better probably if we practiced a little more of that in our culture than we do. They greeted each other and then went into the tent. Moses told his father-in-law about everything the Lord had done to Pharaoh and the Egyptians for Israel's sake, and about all the hardships they'd met along the way and how the Lord had saved them. See, Moses sent his wife away before all the real heat started. I think to protect her and his kids. He was looking out for them because he knew it was going to get tough. But now they're all coming back, and it's been awesome. Verse 9, Jethro was delighted to hear about all the good things the Lord had done for Israel in rescuing them from the hand of the Egyptians. He said, Praise be to the Lord who rescued you from the hand of the Egyptians, and of Pharaoh who rescued the people from the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know that the Lord is greater than all other gods, for he did this to those who had treated Israel arrogantly. Then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, brought a burnt offering and other sacrifices to God. And Aaron came with all the elders of Israel to eat a meal with Moses' father-in-law in the presence of God. So they had a worship service praising God for all he'd done. Verse 13, the next day Moses took his seat to serve as judge for the people. And they stood around him from morning till evening. When his father-in-law saw that Moses was doing for the people, he said, What is this you are doing for the people? Why do you alone sit as judge while all these people stand around you from morning till evening? Moses answered him, Because the people come to me to seek God's will. Whenever they have a dispute, it is brought to me, and I decide between the parties and inform them of God's decrees and instructions. Now, bear in mind, there could be a couple million people here. And Moses is letting everybody come to him with all their little disputes, and that's all he's doing. He's not getting anything else done. They're not making any progress. And Jethro sees this and says, What in the world are you doing? So Jethro is going to give him some good advice. Moses' father-in-law. Sometimes your father-in-law has really good advice. All right? When you get married and your father-in-law wants to tell you something, it might be good to listen because he might be coming from God. All right, verse 17, Moses' father-in-law replied, What you are doing is not good. You and these people who come to you will only wear yourselves out. The work is too heavy for you. You cannot handle it alone. Listen now to me, and I will give you some advice, and may God be with you. You must be the people's representative before God and bring their disputes to him. Teach them his decrees and instructions, and show them the way they are to live and how they are to behave. But select capable men from all the people, men who fear God, trustworthy men who hate dishonest gain, and appoint them as officials over thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens. Have them serve as judges for the people at all times, but have them bring every difficult case to you. The simple cases they can decide themselves. That will make your load lighter because they will share it with you. If you do this, and God so commands, you will be able to stand the strain, and all these people will go home satisfied. Moses listened to his father-in-law and did everything he said. He chose capable men from all Israel and made them leaders of the people, officials over thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens. They served as judges for the people at all times. The difficult cases they brought to Moses, but the simple ones they decided themselves. Then Moses sent his father-in-law on his way, and Jethro returned to his own country. And this advice has been followed for years and years. And I know we're a little over 5 minutes now. I'm just going to wrap it up. But you can see our government operates this way. Businesses operate this way. Smart churches operate this way, where you have the main guy at the top. Then you have some under him, then some more under them, and some more under them. They break it down. All right. So if you're ever in a position of leadership, all right, and you got too much going, you need to get some people to help you and break it down. That's it. That's the whole idea here. Break down the levels of leadership. And that's the point. All right, it's a very good, very practical point. And also, if you get a lot going on, sometimes it's good to take a break from your husband, too. There's a side point there. All right, thank you for watching. It's a little long today. We'll come back tomorrow for the next edition of Take 5.